This is a tale of two Arcee figures.
Females, I thought they were extinct.
Oh, nope, bad shockwave. Hello, it is once again me, your favorite submissive and breedable YouTuber, back at it again with more cringe content. This is supposed to be the worst Arcee figure, and this is supposed to be the best Arcee figure. Is it true? It's just kind of what I've seen online. This is the Kingdom Arcee, which is the same as the Earthrise Arcee. Here's a look at the packaging. She looks dead inside. I do like the artwork of the vehicle mode up front. Here's a quick look at the side, the other side, and here's a quick look at the back. Now let's open her up. This is the most inconvenient way to have her backpack. Ah, fuck it. Also, the weapon really shouldn't be back here. I feel like that could be easily missed out on. You do get a neat foil card. I mean, I don't really care for these much, but it's there. So right away, the Kingdom or Earthrise Arcee is really bad. I had a significantly hard time getting it into the vehicle mode because of the legs. But the way the legs are designed, it's really difficult to get it folded into the proper positions. And if you mess around with it too much, they might pop out. It is also difficult to get these pieces to tap into place properly. So that's the best you're gonna get from me. I was able to do it on this side though. I spent a good 30 minutes on the legs probably. I could just be incompetent, who knows. The rest of the vehicle mode from the top doesn't look too bad. I do like it. Like I said, these pieces aren't tabbed in all the way properly, and once again, if I mess around with it too much, the legs are gonna pop out. But the rest of it does look very G1 accurate. It's got a nice profile on all sides. You have some nice inner car details at the front, some nice car seats. You have this fin at the top, which is removable, so be careful with that. All the detail on the front looks really good. You have a nice Autobot insignia. She does have a lot of nice panel lines on her, and some purple bluish translucent wheels. This one has weapon storage right underneath here. From the underneath, the figure does look pretty horrible. As you guys may already know, this figure is basically a shell former, and the figure just folds up into the car parts. This is the Transformers Legends Arcee. A quick look at the packaging. She comes in vehicle mode. I do like this stylized version of Arcee, and does she have a V-cut? Oh god. Here's a look at the side of the box art, the other side, the top, and here's a quick look at the back. Here is the Legends figure in vehicle mode. Now in terms of a vehicle mode, this one is less G1 accurate, but I do like the stylization of it a lot better. It is a lot more curved, and it still has that kind of retro futuristic car look. This figure does have a lot less detail on it, especially on the front. She has some silver headlights, bold Autobot insignia on there. She has some gray wheels. The inside car details on this figure are a lot better. You have a translucent blue windshield and a much larger fin. This figure has a lot of areas for weapon storage. The smaller blaster goes right in there. This pink one goes at the back of the vehicle, and these two swords go on the side. However, they don't seem to stay in very well. You could also put them at the top, and I think that looks a little bit better. Maybe not so aerodynamic though. Underneath, this figure still folds up into itself, but she still does have an actual transformation. Also, this is her ass. Holding the two figures side by side, I do like the Legends figure a lot better. It is much glossier. This one seems kind of like a brick compared to this one. Even from a side perspective, this one is much better. Both of them still don't look the greatest from underneath. And here's a look at the front. Transforming this figure is fairly easy. First, bring out both of her legs, rotate them around, fix the feet. Next, we can move this back piece and fold it out like that. Pull it out a bit, bring this up so we can fold in these sections, rotate it around and bring it in like that. Got to put this fin back on. Need to make sure these pieces fold in as well, and this came off again. Now we can bring down this front piece, move these arms out of the way so we can fold these pieces in. So this one and then that. Shift this down a bit, rotate the head around. Here's the robot mode, and I gotta say, what the fuck? Let's get the obvious out of the way. The backpack is horrendous. It's clunky. It is literally the entire vehicle mode just folded up. It also makes her very back heavy. The rest of the robot mode does look good though, I will give it that. Pretty G1 accurate. Her face should be a little bit pink. Being white like that blends into the rest of the headpiece, which the headpiece does have some good detail on it. She has some very bright blue eyes, some more nice detail down over to the chest. Her boobs are all G1 and blocky. Some more great detail over here and further down in this area, and she does have a belly button. That is G1 accurate. The arms, I think, do look pretty basic. There's not much to them. Same with the hands. The legs are looking pretty alright. They do have some good detail. This little knee joint does kind of stick out like a sore thumb. Doesn't seem like it's that way in the show, also. This part of the legs is done really well. It's got some good panel working throughout it. There is some hollowness on the figure, which really sucks. These two are ports though. And then down to the feet. My god, these feet look horrendous. These look like bird feet. Also, this piece does kind of flop around. Let's see if we can get it into place properly. Hopefully that doesn't move around now. Okay, never mind. So far, I'm not very fond of this figure. If you could detach this back piece, you could have the entire car on its own. Now, for this Arcee figure, you can take this back piece off, and it is essentially becomes a glider type accessory. Honestly, I don't know how I feel about that,
but I think that is their way of making the backpack a lot less intrusive. I will say though, there is some nice detail on the underside over here.
And with this off, the backpack does look a little bit better.
I do think it's much better than the backpack on the Legends figure.
It definitely does feel like cheating though.
The blaster for the Kingdom figure doesn't look too bad. I'm not a big fan of the translucent look to it. It makes a lot of the details hard to see. Articulation, there's a full 360 on the head. Arms can move out. They can also rotate. There's a bicep rotation, a pretty decent elbow bend. Hands can move back and forth. Waist rotation. Legs can move out that far. You can bring them forward and back. Leg can rotate over there as well as over here. You get a really nice knee bend and some foot movement. The transformation on the Legends figure is also very simple, and the instructions do come with a fun little comic.
And I'm gonna be right back.
To transform this figure, first we bring up this back section, fold this piece in, turn the figure around so we can bring out both of the legs. This is especially important for wanting to bring the legs out. I'm sorry, that was a bad joke. Make sure the legs are down all the way just like that. Now we can bring out the arms, flip over this piece, and then bring it out like that. Make sure these shoulder pieces fit in there, so that way we can adjust that into place and bring that down. Connect this body piece and bring in the head, adjust the feet, and here is the robot mode for the Legends Arcee.
Right away, it does seem like there's some discoloration on the arms, but from what I've seen online, it's supposed to be like that, I guess. I don't know. Fight about it with each other in the comments.
The Legends figure comes with 4 accessories. You get a version of her blaster, which I think looks much better than this one. This one has a lot more detail on it. You get a pink blaster, which looks fairly basic, and 2 translucent blue swords, which look really cool, I think. I do prefer the head on this figure. She does have a huge area at the back for light piping, and the light piping on this figure is really good. She looks kind of dead right now, similar to how I look in most of my videos.
But unlike me, if you bring her up to some light, she doesn't look dead anymore.
The rest of the head sculpt does look pretty good, and she appears to have lipstick on for some reason. I do like how her face is kind of pink, but that is how she's supposed to look. She does have a lot less detail on her than the Kingdom figure. She has her Autobot insignia on the chest, which is also very blocky. I do feel like the blocky chest piece doesn't work with the rest of the figure having very curved and
more feminine features.
Here's a quick look at the figure's arms.
Not much to them.
She does have these gaping holes over there. This is for weapon storage, but I still think it looks kind of ugly. The hands also don't look the best, and the paint job is kind of sloppy on them. Her stomach is very human-like. Further down the legs, the designs are pretty basic. On the back though, you do have some trypophobia style hollow legs. Her backpack does fold in pretty decently.
This part of the figure is really curved and has an arched back.
And she is kind of thick. In terms of articulation for this figure, the head can spin all the way around. The head is a lot looser on this figure than the other one. She can look up and down. Arms can move out like there. You get a rotation. There is bicep rotation, a good elbow bend, no hand rotation unfortunately, no waist rotation either. Legs can move forward. They can move back about there. You get a rotation down there, a pretty good knee bend, and some foot movement. This figure is just a repaint of the Thrilling 30s figure. This one is a lot more accurate to Arcee, but I do like the way that one looks.
Now for a comparison of the two figures.
This one does seem to have a bit more articulation to it, and a lot more detail. I will say the feet on the Legends figure look so much better than this one.
The Legends one is a bit more glossier and has more of a feminine design to it, making the figure look more, feminine.
Let me know in the comments below which figure you prefer.
My opinion is the same as your opinion, the right opinion. Make sure to check out these other videos of mine, and check out my Patreon link in the description below.